Stop. Don't go to the dealership and put a deposit down on that Yamaha Tracer 7 just yet. For years, if you wanted a middleweight sport tourer that was fun and reliable, the Yamaha was the only real choice. But that changes in 2026. There is a new machine that has just arrived to steal the crown, and it has something the Yamaha lost a long time ago, a V-twin soul. This is not just another spec sheet battle. This is about whether you want a bike that feels like an appliance or a bike that feels like a living thing. We are looking at the two most important motorcycles in the middleweight class for 2026. On one side, we have the defending champion, the 2026 Yamaha Tracer 7. It's light, punchy, and now comes with some serious tech upgrades. On the other side, we have the challenger that nobody saw coming, the all-new 2026 Suzuki SV-7 GX. Suzuki has finally taken their legendary SV platform and turned it into the sport tourer we have been asking for. Today, we are going to break them down category by category: engine, chassis, comfort, technology, and price, to see which one actually deserves your money. The Yamaha Tracer 7 is powered by the CP2 engine. If you have been around motorcycles, you know this engine. It is a 689cc parallel-twin liquid-cooled motor. Yamaha uses a 270-degree crank, which mimics the feeling of a V-twin. For 2026, it is pushing out around 72 horsepower at 8,750 RPM and 49.4 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 RPM. It is a fantastic engine. It is playful, it likes to do wheelies, and it has a very distinct raspy exhaust note. It pulls hard from the bottom, which makes it great for city riding. But then we have the Suzuki SV-7 GX. Now, don't let the 7 in the name fool you. It does not have a 700cc engine. It uses the legendary 645cc 90-degree V-twin. This is a real V-twin, not a parallel twin trying to sound like one. For 2026, Suzuki has updated it to meet the new Euro 5+ emission standards. It produces 72.4 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 47.2 pound-feet of torque at 6,800 RPM. On paper, those numbers look almost identical. You might think, who cares, they're the same, but you would be wrong. The way they deliver that power is totally different. The Yamaha hits you with a punch right away. It feels rowdy. The Suzuki, however, is smooth. That 90-degree V-twin has perfect primary balance. It doesn't vibrate your hands off the bars like some parallel twins can. It has a linear pull that just keeps building and building. Also, Suzuki has finally added a ride-by-wire throttle system to the SV-7 GX. This is a huge deal. It means the throttle response is instant and crisp. It also allows for a bidirectional quick shifter as standard equipment. That means you can shift up and down without using the clutch. On the Yamaha Tracer 7, the quick shifter is often an optional extra or only comes on the GT models depending on your region. Though for 2026, Yamaha is pushing their new YAMT automated manual transmission option. But if you're a purist who likes to shift gears yourself, the Suzuki's standard quick shifter is a massive win in the engine category. Now let's talk about the bones of these bikes. This is where you'll feel the weight difference. The Yamaha Tracer 7 has always been the king of weight. It uses a diamond-type steel frame that is very light. The wet weight, that is the bike with fuel and oil ready to ride, is sitting right around 448 pounds or 203 kilograms. That is incredibly light for a touring bike. When you lean it into a corner, it falls in effortlessly. You don't have to muscle it. It feels like a bicycle with an engine. The Suzuki SV-7 GX is built differently. It uses a steel trellis frame. It looks cool and it's very stiff, which is good for stability, but it's heavier. The curb weight for the SV-7 GX is claimed at 465 pounds or 211 kilograms. That's a difference of about 17 pounds. In the world of motorcycles, 17 pounds is a lot. When you're pushing the bike around in your garage or trying to make a U-turn on a tight street, you're going to feel that extra weight on the Suzuki. However, weight isn't always bad. The Suzuki feels more planted on the highway. When a big truck passes you, the SV-7 GX doesn't get blown around as much as the Yamaha. It feels more substantial, like a bigger bike. For suspension, the Suzuki comes with a 41mm telescopic front fork. It gives you 4.9 inches of travel. The rear is a link-type monoshock with 5.1 inches of travel and adjustable spring preload. The Yamaha Tracer 7 also uses 41mm forks, but they usually offer a bit more adjustability depending on the specific trim level, and it has slightly more travel, sitting around 5.1 inches in the front and 5.6 inches in the rear, which gives the Yamaha a slight edge on bumpy roads or if you decide to take a shortcut down a gravel path. The Suzuki is strictly a road bike. It prefers smooth tarmac. The wheels are both 17-inch cast aluminum, which is standard for street bikes. Suzuki has fitted the SV7GX with Pirelli Angel GT2 tires right from the factory. These are excellent sport touring tires. They last a long time but still have plenty of grip in the rain. Yamaha usually fits Michelin road tires, which are also top tier, so in terms of rubber, both companies are giving you the good stuff. This is the most critical part for a sport tourer. If you're not comfortable, you won't ride it. The Yamaha Tracer 7 is a tall bike. The seat height is 32.9 inches or 383 millimeters. If you have shorter legs, this can be intimidating. You might find yourself on your tippy toes at red lights. The seating position is very upright, almost like a dirt bike. The handlebars are wide and high. It gives you a commanding view of the road, but it also puts your chest in the wind. Suzuki SV7GX takes a different approach. The seat height is much lower at 31.3 inches or 795 millimeters. This is a game changer for shorter riders or new riders. You can easily flat-foot this bike. The handlebars on the Suzuki are tapered aluminum and they're positioned a bit lower and further forward than the Yamaha. It puts you in a slightly more sporty tuck. You're not hunched over like on a race bike, but you're more connected to the front wheel. For wind protection, the Suzuki SV7GX comes with a new front cowling that looks a lot like the bigger GSX-S 1000 GX. It has a 3-position adjustable windscreen. The Yamaha Tracer 7 also has an adjustable screen that you can move with one hand while riding. Both do a decent job, but don't expect the silence of a Goldwing. You'll still get some wind noise. The tank size is another win for the Suzuki. It holds 4.6 gallons or 17.4 liters of fuel. The Yamaha holds about 4.5 gallons. It's almost the same, but because the Suzuki V-Twin is known for being fuel efficient, you might squeeze an extra 10 or 20 miles out of a tank on the Suzuki. In 2026, we expect our bikes to be smart. The Suzuki SV7GX finally brings the SV platform into the modern age. It comes with a 4.2-inch color TFT display. It's clear, it's bright, and it connects to your phone. As I mentioned before, it has the Suzuki Intelligent Ride System. This gives you 3 ride modes: active, basic, and comfort. You also get traction control with 3 levels, and you can turn it off if you want to do a burnout. And of course, that sweet bi-directional quick shifter is standard. The Yamaha Tracer 7 also has a 5-inch TFT display on the 2026 model. It looks a bit more modern than the Suzuki screen. It has smartphone connectivity with the My Ride app, so you can see your messages and navigation on the screen. Yamaha typically keeps the rider aid simpler on the 700 platform. You get ABS, of course, but the traction control and ride modes have historically been less sophisticated than what Suzuki is now offering on the GX model. However, the big news for Yamaha in 2026 is the option for the YAMT system. This allows you to shift gears with buttons on the handlebar or let the bike shift for you automatically. If you do a lot of commuting in heavy traffic, an automatic transmission is a luxury that Suzuki does not offer on the SV. While official US pricing for the 2026 models is still being finalized as we speak, we can look at the trends. The Yamaha Tracer 7 has always been priced as a premium middleweight. You are paying for that finish and the Yamaha name. The SV7GX is positioned to be the value king. The SV650 has always been the best bang for your buck, and Suzuki knows they need to keep that reputation. We expect the SV7GX to come in slightly cheaper than the Tracer 7, even with the extra electronics. So, who wins? If you want a bike that is super light, easy to flick around in the city, and has a tall, commanding riding position, the Yamaha Tracer 7 is still a fantastic machine. The engine is a hooligan, and if you want the option of an automatic transmission, it is your only choice. But if you are looking for a bike that connects with your soul, the Suzuki SV 7GX is the winner. That V-twin engine has a character that the Parallel-Twin just cannot match. It sounds better, it feels smoother, and it has that low seat height that makes it accessible to everyone. The addition of the quick shifter and advanced electronics as standard equipment makes it the better package for the money in 2026. Suzuki has taken an old dog and taught it some very impressive new tricks. To summarize, the Tracer 7 is the lightweight city scalpel, while the SV7GX is the stable, soulful road warrior. The Suzuki offers better electronics and a friendlier seat height, while the Yamaha offers less weight and a taller suspension. It all comes down to whether you prefer the punch of a parallel twin or the rumble of a V-twin. Subscribe for more.